Welcome to another Revel University video tutorial. This video will cover the Customer Relationship Manager and will highlight the details you can manage for your customers, as well as how to create customer groups and more. As with all of our tutorials, you can jump ahead to any topic that is most important to you. All tutorials have a table of contents listed below, and you can use the time bar at the bottom of the video to jump ahead. Let's get started with the basics of adding customers in the Management Console. Adding customers to your database allows you to attach customers to orders, create loyalty discounts for your most frequented patrons, and allows you to create marketing material to suit your customers' needs. You can add customers in a couple of different ways. First, we'll add them manually in the Management Console. Then we'll import customers using a spreadsheet. And finally, we'll show you how to add customers on the point of sale itself. To get started, log into your Management Console and navigate to the CRM tab. On the left side, you see a menu for additional options for customer management. We'll get to those a little later. If you have customers in the system, you'll see those on this page. If not, you can click the plus Quick Customer to add a new customer. When adding a new customer, you can enter very basic or more detailed information. For each new entry, the default customer type will be set to individual, but you can change this to company using the drop-down. Next, enter the customer's first and last name and phone number. Optional fields here include adding an email address, a birth date, and a company name. If you create customer groups, you'll be able to come back and link a customer to a group. We'll cover how to create customer groups in a bit and come back to this dropdown. In the Other Customer Details section, you can link additional customer information that may be relevant to your business, such as a reference code, gift and rewards card, and more. You can also enter customer notes such as the customer's seating preference when they visit your business. Optionally, if knowing the customer's gender is relevant to your business, you can input this as well. And lastly, there's a space for customer photo and license. This can be a driver's license or any number you want to use to refer to this customer. If enabled on your account, you will see an option for customers to opt in or out of marketing communications. In the three drop-downs for email, text messages, and regular mail, indicate the customer's preference and they will begin receiving your marketing communication in the requested manner. Next, you have the option to input an address for the customer. Click Add Address. This will allow you to enter the customer's address info. And finally, you'll see an option for house accounts. A house account is a line of credit that you can offer your customers, and these are completely optional. This is useful if you have charge accounts in a bar or perhaps a golf club. Your customers build an outstanding balance and make payments on their house accounts. To allow a customer to use this feature, click on the Enable box and enter a maximum limit. If you leave the maximum limit at 0, it will decline all house account transactions for that customer. Once you have finished filling out all the relevant information for the customer, click Save. And your customer has now been created. If you need to edit an existing customer at any point in the future, click the pencil icon next to their name and update any necessary fields. If customers are added in the Management Console, in order for them to be associated with orders on the point of sale, just be sure to refresh your POS stations to update. Now that you've seen how to manually add customers, let's look at how you can quickly import lots of customers at one time using our Import-Export function. Click that option on the left of the screen. You will see two export options, a basic and an empty template. When entering customers for the first time, you'll want to select the empty template and click Export. To add to your customer list in the future, you will want to select Basic so that it downloads everything already in the system. Just be sure to choose if you want to show all customers in the exported file or only those with house accounts. Once exported, you can add new customers or edit customers in bulk. Since I've already added a customer to the system, I'm going to choose the basic export. And here's a pro tip on the CRM. The CRM file can be a little bit tricky. A good rule of thumb is to add at least one new customer to the system in the management console directly. Fill out all the necessary fields that you would normally fill in for your patrons. Then use the basic export to see how each field correlates on the spreadsheet. When you export the basic template, find the file in your download folder and open it if it doesn't automatically open for you. The spreadsheet will have multiple fields that you can fill out with several required fields. Be sure to keep column A, the ID field, blank, as this will be auto-assigned by Revel when you import the file. Notice my initial customer already has an ID assigned. Do not assign a number to a new customer and do not edit an existing customer's ID, as either actions will result in the file being rejected when you import. For each new customer that you add, make sure that you fill out the first name, last name, phone number, country, primary billing, primary shipping, and the active column. Again, using the initial customer that you added as reference will help out a lot here to know how to fill in some of the required fields. Once the spreadsheet is filled in, save it to your computer. Back in the management console, if you aren't already there, click on the CRM and Import Export. Under the Import Customer section, click on Choose File. Select the spreadsheet that you just saved and click Import. Once the spreadsheet has finished importing, you'll get an email informing you of the import status. If everything was imported successfully, the results will say Updated. If the import had any issues, the import results will tell you what the issues are so that you can edit the spreadsheet and then re-import. One final option that you see on the Import-Export page at the bottom is the ability to export customer data. Once you have some sales in the system associated with your customers, you can use this option to export data in bulk for review. Select your date range and choose whether to include order data without customers attached. If you have multiple establishments, you can choose to export data from multiple establishments or just an individual location. When the file exports, you'll see all details for the specified date range, such as the order total, payment type, customer name, and more. While we're still in the management console, let's take a look at one other option that we have under the CRM tab, Customer Groups. With customer groups, you can group patrons together to make it simple to offer discounts, exempt purchases from taxes, and more. To start, select Customer Groups on the left, then click Add Customer Group. Under the Group Details section, the first field, Group Name, is required. The group name should be something that will make it easy for you to identify the customers in that group, something like friends and family or military. Next, make sure the active box is checked if you want this to be an active group that can get discounts. And if the group should be tax exempt, you can check that box as well. The next option can be selected if you have a customer-specific discount that you want associated with this group. This is covered in greater detail in our discounts tutorial. If you don't have discounts created yet, you can leave this field blank and come back to it after you have the discount created. If a discount is selected, it will apply to anyone added to the group. If you want the discount to apply every time a customer in the group makes a purchase, enable the Auto Apply Discount option. If your customer group has a specific tax code that only applies to them, you can link it here. Tax codes are set up in the Taxes tab. More info on this can be found in our Taxes tutorial or article linked below. In the membership section, you'll see all customers that exist in the system under the Not Group Members list. You can search for customers by name or scroll through the list. Check the box next to the customers' names that you want to include in the group. Once you save the changes, all those customers will be moved to the Group Members section. Now that we've seen how to add and manage customers in the Management Console, let's see how this works on the point of sale. You can access customers from the dashboard or the order screen. Let's start on the dashboard. Tap Manage Customers, which will display a list of all customers along with their information. To update an existing customer's information, simply tap their name and select Edit. Update any information as necessary and be sure to save your changes. To create a new customer, tap Add. Enter the customer's information just like you did on the Management Console. To the right, you'll see a photo icon that gives you the ability to attach an iPad image to the customer's profile. Tap Save, and just like that, your customer is created. Now let's see how to add a customer to an existing order. After opening an order, tap the customer icon at the top left. You'll see a list of customers previously added to your CRM. Here, you can search for the customer by name, company, email, reference code, or phone number using the search bar. Tap the customer name for options. You can edit their profile or add them to an order, or even see previous orders. If the customer hasn't been added to the CRM, you can create a new profile. Just click on Add New at the top of the CRM and enter the required fields we saw earlier. Save the customer info when finished. Then you'll see the customer name listed in the CRM. Select them to add them to the order. You know that you've successfully completed this when you see the customer's name listed on the top of the order screen. As you can see, Revel offers many options for managing your customers. We hope you were able to follow along and complete the necessary steps. If you have any additional questions, please visit the related knowledge base articles on our support site. Thank you for watching another Revel University online tutorial.